This is Suzanne Wagner. I do a daily numerology and astrology blog. This one happens to be for September 24th, 2021. Thank you so much for joining me. I always start with the numerology, go to the astrology, and then put in some quotes and blogs. Today, if you add all those numbers together, you get the number 20. And if you add the 2 and the 0 together, you get the number 2. The number 2 supports us at looking at the duality within ourselves, not just the world. It is often easy to see the splits and divides in our external world, but being able to address the dysfunctional and diverse personal viewpoints and bring them into a more unified place can be quite a challenge. The number 2 is ruled by the planet Uranus and is associated with the sign of Aquarius. Uranus is the planet of revolution, revelation, and change. It loves to disrupt and force change by breaking us out of our old beliefs and showing new and usually opposite ways of doing things. Aquarius is a sign of the unorthodox and original thinking, and right now in our world, we definitely need both of those patterns to help us shift the dysfunction that seems to plague our world. The duality of this number promotes intellectual independence, but also sudden obstinance. This is the number of the mind and wants more information. Culturally, we promote the intellectual, but the mind can also create loops and traps that become obsessive and rigid. The mind loves ideas and the process of constantly translating ideas. But being an information junkie can lead to confusion, chaos, and stuckness, because information alone is not enough to understand and navigate this complex world. Today, you may crave something different, original, and eccentric. While that can be stimulating, be careful to not be undisciplined or reckless. Abrupt choices may not go as planned. Stick to the plans that are in motion and add to their innovativeness and originality. Think outside of the box. Just make sure you are not actually inside the box instead. The astrology today. Let your soul continue to rest in this world where so much is trying to pull you into the obvious chaos that is surrounding us all. The moon in Taurus wants to move through it all in a steadier way that allows for a peaceful connection with what is most important. Venus opposes Uranus the last few days and is waning, and yet the moon tries to connect to the planet Uranus, and while it is also in Taurus and conjunct. We want comfort in many forms, but in reality, we need to do things very differently to stay sane and in the flow of this unfolding reality. Staying connected to this beautiful world as we move into the fall season. Be with the moment and keep things simple. Be innovative and original, but don't follow crazy thoughts that lead into trouble. Stay calm and be in the moment. Be with those that you love and care for. Be willing to compromise. Caring for others is important. And know that giving a helping hand is always good for the soul. And my quote for today. I learned that life is fragile and great. I know that everyone seems to have a full plate. I believe in the light that shines from within will allow us to be strong as we try to begin. Begin a new cycle and one that has hope as the theme. Begin a new cycle that does not want an extreme. Begin a new cycle that is not afraid of despair. A world where authenticity is not so rare. And my blog for today. The day before yesterday, my stepdaughter came out to help me do some deep cleaning. I had to make a joke that I was a social cleaner. That made her laugh. There is not a lot of social drinking going on, and I don't really drink anyway, so cleaning seemed a more productive way to utilize the time. But after being alone for the COVID years, it was just wonderful to have another woman in the house to chat and clean. So much more gets done and in the same amount of time. Needless to say, it always makes me feel better to be on top of the house a bit more. She took the upstairs while I did the sheets and towels. I cleaned the kitchen while she did the floors. It was just lovely. And I appreciate the help greatly. Living in the forest is a real problem to keep the outside. I never remember having so many challenges keeping a house clean as much as this one, but it is in a beautiful place to live and worth it. And I got a chance to make a homemade heirloom tomato spaghetti sauce for dinner and used it as the base to make Tuscan chicken for the next night. Yesterday was slow work-wise, and I caught up a bit more on some things that I needed and wanted to do. I got some time to get on my treadmill and get in 5,000 steps and get some cooking done, and I made a German apple pudding cake. Ooh, is that yummy? I wanted to do things for all the apples that I have on my tree out there before the bears get it. It is always good to be in the flow of seasonal foods. I have always believed that our bodies are attuned to the cycles of nature and we should use those things that are ripe at those particular times. Somehow it seems healthier, and I believe it kind of prevents illness when we do that too. Next, I have to do something with my pumpkins. I have been utilizing my delicata squash in many ways, and they are so good. Hope everyone is enjoying the harvest from their gardens in original and wonderfully delicious ways. Thanks, everybody.